You've been lied to. There's a silent script that most men are following, and they don't even know it. It tells you to be nice, to always be available, to prove your worth by chasing, pleasing, and giving her control of your emotions. But what if I told you that this script was designed to keep you weak, to make you forget who you are and what you're capable of? You see, from childhood, we're conditioned to seek approval from our parents, our teachers, and eventually from women. We're told that being agreeable is honorable, that sacrifice makes us lovable. But there comes a moment in every man's life where the mask must fall. That moment is now. If you do not take control of your value as a man, you will lose. Every single time. Stoicism is not about indifference. It's about power. Power over your thoughts, power over your reactions, power over the frame of your own life. These 7 rules are not just about breaking her ego. They're about breaking free from the emotional chains that keep you playing a game you're destined to lose. Rule 1. Stop seeking validation. Reclaim the throne. Let's start with the disease that infects most men: validation seeking. Double texting. Waiting anxiously for her reply. Feeling crushed when she leaves you on read. Asking, "Are you mad at me?" after the slightest cold vibe. Every one of these actions silently screams, "I don't think I'm enough unless you approve of me." And women can smell that desperation. It's repelling. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The approval of others is fickle, unreliable, and beyond your control." Stoic wisdom teaches us to focus only on what we can control. And her validation is not one of those things. When you chase her validation, you give her your emotional remote control. You're no longer leading, you're reacting. What to do instead? Next time you're tempted to explain yourself excessively or check her socials obsessively, stop. Ask yourself, would I do this if I were already enough? Then act from that place, as if you already are. Because here's the truth, you are already enough, but you must believe it first. High-value men don't chase approval, they walk in their truth and let the world adjust. Rule 2. Master the art of silence. Let her feel the absence. Silence isn't just the absence of words, it's the presence of power. Think of the most intimidating moments in life. The pregnant pause before a verdict is read, the unspoken stare from someone who doesn't need to explain himself, the man who walks away without begging, arguing, or flinching. That's not emptiness, that's dominance. When a woman expects you to defend yourself, over-explain, or explode and you don't, she is forced to confront herself. He who controls his emotions controls the situation. Seneca, silence breaks the cycle of reaction, in arguments, in neediness, in fear. But it also creates intrigue. Picture this. You're on a date. She finishes a story. You smile slightly, nod once, and let the silence linger. You sip your drink and hold eye contact. She starts wondering, what is he thinking? Why isn't he reacting like every other guy? That mystery? It's a magnet. How do you silence like a weapon? Don't respond instantly. Think, pause, then speak. Stop explaining yourself to win her over. In conflict, if she raises her voice, lower yours, or say nothing. Walk away when disrespected, without a word, without drama. The more comfortable you are with silence, the louder your presence becomes. And in a world full of noise, a man who says less is a man who commands more. Rule 3. Build a life that pulls. Become the gravity. Ask yourself this brutally honest question. Am I chasing her, or am I chasing my purpose? Because men who chase women lose women. But men who chase greatness attract everything. The truth? Women don't want to be the center of your world. They want to orbit around a man who has a world of his own. Imagine this contrast. Man A spends his days watching her Instagram stories, texting repeatedly, and making her the center of his schedule. Man B hits the gym, learns new skills, builds his business, and doesn't flinch when her reply takes 2 hours. Who do you think she respects more? Stoicism teaches us the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. Upgrade your thoughts and your life will follow. Start that project. Read that book. Take up boxing, painting, coding, something that excites you. Because the more you invest in your growth, the less you need her to complete you. And that self-sufficiency? That's irresistible. Rule 4. Set boundaries like a king. Respect is earned, not demanded. Let me be crystal clear. If you don't teach her how to treat you, she'll treat you however she feels like. Why? Because women test boundaries instinctively, not because they're evil, but because they need to know. Is this man solid, or is he soft? When you let her raise her voice at you without consequence, when you let her cancel plans without accountability, when you let her flirt with other men in front of you and you pretend it's fine, you're showing her that her disrespect has no cost. And when there's no cost, there's no respect. And when there's no respect, there's no attraction. You deserve what you tolerate. Marcus Aurelius, paraphrase modern truth. Setting boundaries isn't about controlling her. It's about controlling your standard. You don't need to yell. You don't need to argue. You just need to act. Examples of quiet, powerful boundary setting. If she flakes, you don't text her. You don't chase. You pull back. If she's rude or dismissive, you say, "I don't tolerate disrespect," and leave. If she pushes your buttons, you don't react. You observe. You adjust. The most dangerous man in the room is the one who's not afraid to walk away, because he's not negotiating his self-worth, he's living by it. Rule 5. Master emotional detachment. Power over impulse. Here's a lesson that could save you years of heartache. Your emotions are data, not commands. Yes, she's beautiful. Yes, she gives you butterflies. But do not confuse chemistry with compatibility. And do not let feelings override facts. Stoic men know we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Seneca. That text she didn't reply to, that flirtatious guy she followed, that cold energy she gave on the last date. Instead of spiraling into panic, stop and ask, is this worth my peace? Am I reacting or am I responding? Would a man of value obsess over this? Emotional detachment doesn't mean you become numb. It means you become strategic. Because when you're emotionally reactive, you are predictable. And when you're predictable, you're easy to manipulate. Here's how to stay grounded. Meditate daily, even 10 minutes. It builds emotional control. Journal your thoughts. Get the chaos out of your head and onto paper. In moments of anger, say nothing. Walk away, let logic return. Delay your response by 5 minutes. Let impulse fade and reason lead. A man who can sit in his silence unshaken by games becomes magnetic because he is the calm in her storm. Rule 6. Make her earn your respect, not the other way around. Most men are taught to win a woman over. Buy flowers, compliment her nonstop, prove you're a good guy. But here's the truth. Stop trying to impress her. Let her impress you. This doesn't mean you become rude or cold. It means you flip the script. Instead of auditioning for her approval, you ask yourself, is she feminine in energy? Is she kind and respectful? Does she add peace or chaos to my life? Because your time, your energy, and your presence, they are currency. If you give them away for free to anyone who looks good in leggings, you're signaling that you're cheap, that you don't see yourself as the prize. In the Roman Empire, the Stoics taught their soldiers and leaders, a man must govern himself first before he governs the world. Let her earn access to your softness. Let her prove she can handle your depth, your vision, your ambition. The more discerning you are with who you give your time to, the more valuable your presence becomes. Rule 7. Lead with purpose, not emotion. Women don't want to lead. Even the most independent, alpha-minded woman wants to be led by a man she respects. But you can't lead her. or anyone if you don't know where you're going. A man without a purpose is a ship without a rudder. Epictetus. Your purpose is your North Star. It's what keeps you grounded when she pulls away. It's what fuels you when life punches you in the gut. A woman may inspire you, but she should never define you. When she becomes your purpose, you become lost the moment she leaves. The stoic man knows his mission comes first. He isn't swayed by her mood swings. He isn't thrown off by her silence. He's building, creating, dominating his lane. Your mission should be so big that her drama feels small. What does this look like in action? You miss her, but you still hit the gym. She's acting cold, you're still editing that video, building that brand, closing that deal. You don't cancel your goals for temporary pleasure or panic. Ever. Because the man who walks in purpose is the man who never begs, never chases, and never fears being alone. Why? Because he is already full. And fullness attracts, desperation repels. Final words. The high-value man is not a tactic. It's an identity. You don't act high value to get a girl. You become high value so that no woman, no matter how fine, no matter how seductive, ever holds power over you again. Breaking her ego is not about destroying her, it's about reclaiming you. So follow these 7 rules. Not just once, but daily, repeatedly, ruthlessly. Because the world doesn't need more men begging for love. It needs more men who walk in truth, power, and unshakable self-respect.